There's a strange pattern on the internet. Every few months, one celebrity trends massively. Not because they released music, not because they posted something controversial, sometimes not because they posted anything at all. And somehow, Cardi B is almost always at the center of it. No matter what's actually happening in her real life, the internet already seems to have a story ready for her. A story it keeps replaying, reshaping, and reinforcing. So today, I want to talk about why Cardi B trends even when she does nothing, and what this says about internet culture, fame, and the way narratives stick to certain people. Because once you see this pattern, you'll start noticing it everywhere. If you scroll long enough, you'll notice the same comments pop up again and again. People say Cardi B is always in drama, that she's loud, that she's problematic, that she's doing too much. Even when there's no clear headline, people expect something to be wrong. And that expectation is important because on the internet, perception often matters more than facts. At this point, Cardi B isn't just a person to many viewers. She's a character, a symbol, a shortcut. When people see her name trending, they already think they know the reason before reading a single word. And that's where the problem starts. This narrative didn't appear overnight. It was built slowly, over years, through clips, reactions, memes, and moments taken out of context. Early in her career, Cardi B was extremely online. She spoke freely, joked loudly, and didn't filter herself the way most celebrities do. And at first, that honesty was refreshing. But the internet doesn't just watch, it categorizes. So very quickly, her personality became a label. Instead of outspoken, it became aggressive. Instead of authentic, it became messy. Instead of unfiltered, it became problematic. Once that label was set, everything she did afterward was filtered through it. And that's how a narrative becomes sticky. Here's something people don't like to admit. The internet doesn't reward balance. It rewards emotion. Algorithms push content that sparks reactions, anger, mockery, outrage, laughter. Calm explanations don't travel as fast. So when Cardi B trends, it's rarely because of a clear event. It's usually because someone reinterpreted an old clip, a quote was taken out of context, or people filled in gaps with assumptions. And once a few viral posts frame the story a certain way, everyone else piles on. Not because they've researched anything, but because it feels familiar. The narrative feels true because it's been repeated so often. Here's the part most people misunderstand. When Cardi B stays quiet, the internet doesn't calm down. It gets louder. Silence creates a vacuum, and the internet hates empty space. So people speculate, they project, they assume intentions. If she responds, people say she's defensive. If she doesn't, people say she's hiding something. Either way, the story continues. This is why doing nothing doesn't actually protect celebrities online. Sometimes it makes things worse. This pattern isn't unique to Cardi B. It's driven by a few powerful psychological forces. First, confirmation bias. People notice the moments that support what they already believe and ignore everything else. Second, parasocial entitlement. Audiences feel like they know celebrities personally, so they believe they're owed explanations, reactions, and access. And third, group validation. Once a narrative is popular, agreeing with it feels safer than questioning it. So the story keeps repeating, not because it's accurate, but because it's comfortable. When you strip away the noise, the reality is much simpler. Cardi B is a public figure navigating fame in an environment that magnifies everything she does and everything she doesn't. There isn't always a scandal. There isn't always a hidden motive. Sometimes there's just a person living their life while millions of strangers project meaning onto it. But that version of the story doesn't go viral. Nuance doesn't trend. Patterns do. This is the part most people miss. The internet doesn't treat all celebrities the same. Certain personalities, especially women who are outspoken, confident, and unapologetic, get placed into narratives that are almost impossible to escape. Once that happens, every action becomes evidence, and every silence becomes suspicious. We've seen this cycle repeat with countless public figures. Different names, same structure. It's easy to dismiss this as just pop culture, but the way we treat celebrities online reflects how we treat people in general. We jump to conclusions. We flatten complex humans into characters. We reward outrage over understanding. And social media makes this behavior feel normal. So the next time you see Cardi B trending, especially when nothing obvious has happened, it's worth asking, is there actually a story here? Or are we just watching the same narrative replay itself again? Because once the internet decides who you are, doing nothing doesn't always set you free. Sometimes it just gives the story more room to grow. What do you think? Does the internet create these narratives, or does it just reveal them? Let me know your thoughts.